Hello everyone and welcome to English Most. This video is about the read and select question type in the Duolingo English test. This video has three parts. In the first part, I will talk about the pattern of read and select question type and the kind of changes it has undergone in 2024. In the next part, I'll discuss how to prepare for the test, and lastly, we'll have a look at some online practice. So let's start. The read and select section has considerably changed from the previous years. This is how you will see it on your screen. First up, each question in this section will present you with a single word. You will need to decide quickly if it's a real English word. Secondly, you will have only 5 seconds to make your decision, so it's important to stay focused and trust your instincts. Typically, you will see between 15 to 18 words in this section. So, as I said before, this section is designed to test your vocabulary recognition and spelling accuracy. It is not just about knowing the words, but also recognizing if they are spelled correctly. One important thing to note is that Duolingo includes fake words that resemble real words to challenge test takers. So, these words can trick you sometimes, but you need to keep an eye on those words. And you will come across those words in a while we do our practice exercise in this video. One thing is to remember is the difficulty level. So the difficulty adjusts based on performance, with correct answers leading to more challenging words. This is kind of interesting because the difficulty level will adjust based on your own performance. If you get answers right, you will be presented with more challenging words. Lastly, this section contributes to literacy and comprehension subscores. So if you do well in this question type, you will end up boosting your overall score. Now we'll discuss how to prepare for read and select questions. So to do well in this section, you will need a good mix of strategies and practice. Let's go through some tips that can help you succeed. First, increase your daily reading of newspapers, novels, and online English news. This will help you get familiar with different words and their contexts. Next, you can use vocabulary apps like Duolingo, Memrise, or Quizlet for practice. These apps are great for expanding your vocabulary and recognizing correct spellings. Another tip to recognize patterns in words through prefixes and suffixes. For example, identify un in unhappy and able in acceptable. This will help you quickly identify real words. This only means that when you come across a long word, try to focus on the structure of the word. The word might have suffixes or prefixes attached to it, and we'll have a look at that while we do our practice exercises. Similar to the previous points, you can break down unfamiliar words into root components. For example, bioengineering can be split into bio, and engineering. It means that if you try to understand the roots of a word, you can deduce its meaning. Another very important point is to be aware of common misspellings. For example, recognize accommodate versus accommodate and believe versus believe. The real word accommodate includes two C's, while believe is correctly spelled as B-E-L-I-E-V-E, not as E-I-V-E. Similarly, you need to look for unusual letter combinations to spot fake words. For example, sumder and believe are not real words. The wrong words would look odd or out of place. On this slide, I have some more tips. So first, consider if the word logically fits into English usage. For example, plagiarism is a real word, but plagiarism is not. Similarly, melancholy is correct, but melancholyfy is not. So you need to think logically. If you have been reading text and you have been reading fiction and non-fiction, science fiction, and academic papers, maybe that seems too much, but you need to read these things to enhance your vocabulary comprehension. If you have been reading these, then you will be able to quickly identify the wrong words or the fake words or the unreal words. And that is my next point. You need to read fiction, non-fiction, academic papers, etc. My last 2 points are about how to practice your vocabulary for the test. And for this, you need to have a timer to practice with a 5-second time per word. As you know, you have to act instinctively. And then you also need to practice on Duolingo's official website test prep section. Now let's get into some online practice.